What's up, everyone? Lionel Feeds Podcast here, and today we're back.
Yes, sir.
Episode 57.
It's crazy.
And we're doing a brand new novel, Splitting the Heavens, not related to 9-Star Hajime Body.
At all. He hasn't said it one time.
I know.
I thought it was gonna be his signature move like all the time.
He still hasn't said it.
I don't know. Maybe it's his like character, like just like going against the heavens. I don't know. But I don't know. I haven't seen a single thing related to Splitting the Heavens. I thought at the beginning maybe it would be, but then like he went on a different path.
Yeah. Well, let's just say, for transparency's sake, sake, we're far beyond. We're going over chapter 1 to 200.
209.
209, which is the first book of the entire novel.
Yep.
Because basically, Splitting the Heavens, we gave it an analogy. It's kind of like a junk food novel.
We did.
And we just couldn't stop.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, it's good enough to read.
So before we start though, next week, if you don't want to listen to this, next week we're doing 9-Star Hajime Body Art.
Yeah.
It's finally back. It's gonna be like 130-ish chapters probably by the time we do the podcast for it. So right now it's like 100 plus. So it should be good. Hopefully it doesn't let us down for the third consecutive time we read it.
We're in the new world, or the new heaven.
Yeah, we're in the pathway between the new heaven.
Well,
Remember?
Oh, you're right. They went. Where did they go?
They went to the ninth world, but it's actually it's a second crossroads.
Oh yeah.
World, remember?
Listen,
bro.
Wait, so are they're officially entering them, right? Or
I think after they're in like a secret region right now.
Yeah.
I think after the secret region, it's called like the fantasy world or something.
Yeah, there's spiritual world, fantasy world.
I think there's two different ones. Remember?
Oh, and they're at one of them.
Yeah, I think after this, we would probably go into the ninth heaven.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah. So that's for next week. For this week, we're talking Split the Heavens. Mini spoilers. We might talk heavily the first 50, but we'll try not to go too hard.
Many words get mixed up. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Well, yeah, the first book, guys. Junk food is the perfect way to describe it, man.
Yeah, the first book in terms of arc is long.
Oh, it's incredibly long.
Long. Like it was.
This man don't play, the author.
Yeah, it wasn't. I would say it wasn't bad long. Like it was very eventful.
I agree, it wasn't bad long. I just think, honestly, you know what it is? I don't know this author at all, but I feel like it comes across as if this is his first book he's ever written. Cause I feel like the writing has gotten better throughout the story.
Oh, I agree. Actually,
you know what I mean? Like the first, I'm gonna be honest, guys. The first I want to say 40 chapters. Actually, no, like the first 100 chapters, like it's not. I don't want to call it ass, but like
it was a lackluster.
It wasn't even like it was like it had all the components. It's like you gave the chef everything he needed, and he just gave you a shit dish, and so it's like you were getting strung along. You're like, oh, it's gonna be really good. It's gonna be really good, and then it's just not that good.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
I can see exactly what you're talking about, especially in the first 50 chapters.
Yeah, especially
the first 50. Because so basically, our protagonist Shangja, classic.
Young master.
Yep. He transmigrated from another world.
A cultivation world, supposedly.
Yeah. Yes, from one cultivation world to another.
Yep.
We have no idea about his past.
We never find out.
We have still not found it. I'm ahead of him, actually. We still have not found it. And honestly, I think the author kind of put it there as a backstory, and this is where you're like, this might be his first. This is either first or second novel he's written. He just completely just threw it to the back of his head. He was like, I couldn't think of anything of it.
Yeah.
And said, you know what? They'll just forget about it because we're not going to talk about it ever again. And he's kind of right because I kind of did.
I would if it wasn't for the fact that throughout the novel,
he's Deus Ex Machina.
He keeps not even Deus Ex Machina. He keeps mentioning his cultivation insights from another world.
Yeah,
like he brings it up. And it's like, was he like a strong expert before? Because he knows like a lot of like secrets to cultivation, you know?
It's more like, so this world, the world he goes into, let's say the cultivation path is new. Like, they've only been cultivating for like, what? They said like 500 years?
800 years. But they said they've been, that's how long the calendar's been going for.
Yeah, but, I mean, we might, oh yeah, that's not how long the world is, yeah. But
it's still recent, it's like a new...
That's still a big thing.
Yeah, right?
Because, like, only 800 years, like, you're not going to make a lot of progress. Especially, and everyone's finding their own path.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, like, obviously, it's just difficult. So, insights he has, because I think we don't know if his world was more developed, but I think there is more.
I think he says it is more cultivationally developed. I don't know about, like, science, but...
No,
in cultivation, for sure. He brings it up all the time.
No, to me, it sounds more like they just have a better understanding, rather than like.
Well, how will they get the understanding without?
Oh, I guess that's true.
You know,
be more developed.
Yeah.
Because well, we don't really know. So
yeah, we don't. That's true.
They never talk about it again, other than being like, oh yeah, it should be called this or that, because like his understanding from before was like.
It's like basically we're talking about the cultivation realms. Like, for example, the first realm is the martial realm, but in his other world it's called like the force realm or something. I forget exactly what he calls it.
Yeah, but he changes the names differently because he says that the realms that they use, like their naming conventions, don't make sense.
Yeah,
and he's kind of right.
Yeah.
And he says that they changed at one point too.
Yes, they did change. Yeah. Like, different schools and institutions have different names because they all have different paths of cultivation because it's not like set in stone yet.
Yeah, and so it was, or I think like the current cultivation names they all had the same names, but they just put Marshall in front of the name. I think that's what happened.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then. I don't know, which was still weird. I was like, you just put Marshall in front of it? Because I remember reading that and being like, why did they do that?
Yeah, it's like, so they start Martial Realm, then we go Martial Extremity, then we go Martial Intent.
Yep.
That's about where we drop off at, like, the end of the book. Our man Shang-Chi is about to hit Martial Intent. Shang-Chi about to hit Martial Intent.
Yeah. And so he came over, he entered the body of a young master, classic. He was trying to understand that, like, a martial... It was a martial intent?
Martial intent.
Yeah, of a cultivation technique.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it was classic, like, lightning.
Heavenly lightning.
Yep. He got zapped, and then he spawned in this guy's body.
Yeah.
He technically should have died if that didn't happen, which was like... I was like, every time.
Yeah.
He should have died. But yeah, that beginning definitely throws you off because you're just kind of like thinking he's from another world. He's born as a young master. Mm-hmm. And then the synopsis throws you off with, am I the villain in this novel? Mm-hmm. Oh, there's other guys that are strong. Yeah. And that threw me off too because I was just like, okay.
I feel like the author didn't have a good direction at the beginning where he was going, because it seemed like he was going like kind of like villainy arc a little bit, and that never came across again.
Yeah. So the synopsis, it paints it as he was born into a bad person, and instead of trying to be a good person, he was just gonna be a bad person. Yeah. Like, that's what I thought going. That's kind of why I was looked at it. I was like, I guess it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And then that never happened.
Yeah, bro. He did it for like
did it in the first 100 chapters.
Not even, maybe the first 10.
Oh yeah.
In like that wedding ceremony thing.
Yeah.
And then after that, he was pretty nice the rest of the time.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say, one thing that I think the author could describe more, that maybe he was kind of disguising it as something else, was that when Shang-Chi killed somebody for the first time, he glossed over it. Like, it was usually there's always like a real big like, oh my god, I killed somebody.
Yeah.
Didn't have it at all. And the way he killed his first person was kind of like grotesque. Like he put a dagger through them, and then he like shoved his knife through his body. And I was like, oh, so this is casual, okay? Like, casual, like didn't phase you. And he was like, oh, he thinks I'm gonna go soft on him. So like, it literally wrote that out. I was like, who are you, man? Like what? We haven't. He hasn't described this to be his personality at all. And like maybe it's now I'm thinking it's because like he's from another cultivation world, so like it's the strong eat the weak type of world that's just normal. But like that should have been so much better described because it was just like glossed over. Because in the first 200 chapters he kills like over 100 people, not on some mass murder stuff, but like
So part of the backstory is that the world he reincarnated in collided with another world, and so it created this overlap, which they call the battlefield between the two worlds.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's a battlefield, so it didn't kill people.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So he gets in there at the beginning of the novel. He gets he's at the peak of the martial realm, which is the first. Basically, it's like the first step into actually cultivating. So there's a key condensing stage, like right before. But right after you finish that, you become an actual cultivator, and he's in the martial realm. He's trying to break through to the martial extremity realm. This is when we find out he has a Crimson Soul tablet, which is Deus Ex Machina. And basically, since this world is very like kind of behind the times, the way this is like super cool is that it can find out how he can progress to the next rank. They call them advancement formulas, so they need like certain medicines and stuff to break through to the next rank, and that's like super secret. Like a lot of places don't. Like you have to be part of a power to get one, and so him being able to have that helps him out a lot.
Yeah, and he's also part of a place, of an institution that is like it's at the battlefield, so it's not a big place. It's kind of like they were kind of forced into it, pretty much. But because like they were there, it's like a double-edged sword where it's like, oh, we have to face we're on the front lines all the time, but we also get all the benefits of it.
Yeah.
But it's like they show the difficulty of like advancing as a cultivator.
Yeah.
Like honestly, that's probably like one of the biggest things I like is like advancing is really difficult.
It is really difficult for everybody.
And it's just like, oh, you gotta become like a slave to like an organization.
You really
if you want to. But that's why his Crimson Soul tablet, they said it's in his Sea of Consciousness.
Yeah.
It allows him to do simulations for the recipe.
Not even simulations. I feel like, well, it does give him simulations, but he can just ask for it and they'll give it to him. He doesn't have to like experiment.
Oh yeah.
It gives it to him complete, and he can experiment it to make it like not as stringent requirements, but like he doesn't have to like research at all.
Oh yeah, it doesn't do any research.
It's like I need a ring 2 advancement formula. Gotcha, bro.
Yeah, of course there is a drawback.
Yep.
It cracks. And his intuition tells him if it cracks, he dies, or if it breaks, he dies.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So that's
I'd
like
say
drawback.
if we're to rank Deus Ex Machinas, that's on a low one. Because, bro, why am I dying to my Deus Ex Machina?
Yeah, I think for like always, like we always say, for the world, it's pretty strong.
Oh yeah.
It makes it like good, but like in general, it's really not that crazy. You know what I mean? I think maybe it'll start getting stronger the stronger he gets.
Yeah, because
it ranks,
especially since cultivation's new. He's probably gonna get to the point where it's like he's at the peak and he needs to find his own path.
Yeah.
With the tablet, that makes it easier.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, my biggest gripe, I'm gonna start it here, is the fact that this book, guys, will hit you with about 100 names in the first 100 chapters, and they expect you to follow it.
Oh yeah, there's
way too many names.
The problem is that if you're not, because this is a Chinese novel, right?
I'm not sure.
I think so, because Shengjia.
Yeah, that's probably,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know. That seems, probably Chinese.
So, we're not from the culture there.
Yeah.
So a lot of these names are foreign to us. So and a lot of the names are similar.
Yeah.
Which I think that's just a cultural
4
thing.
great clans.
So they have everyone. So Shang Jia is part of the Shang clan.
Yep.
And so everyone part of his family is just Shang. Like
Shang
obviously,
something.
yeah, because but in America, it's like your cousins aren't gonna Shang. Well, they might if your cousins are if you had if you're.
If I have all uncles.
Yeah.
All
If you have aunts and they marry into someone else's family, they're gonna have a different last name.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So it's just but here everyone was just Shang, and I was just everyone's. I can't keep up because you had Shang Ji, Shang. Bo, Shang, K, Shang.
Yang.
Yeah, and I was just I cannot keep up with all these names. It's not possible.
And honestly, I think sometimes it's okay if they give us all the names for a clan, and then we'll slowly get to know them. I don't think that was my issue. I think my problem is that the author gives us so many names, and then there's a lot of scenarios throughout the first, I'd say, especially the first 100 chapters, because it doesn't happen as much after. But the first 100 chapters, there's a lot of fights between people who aren't the main character. Because there's peak level fights that are happening, and they're giving out names, and it's Luke Kingland versus Yan Sue, right?
Yeah,
I think those are 2 people. And it's based on those names, I don't know which faction is which. They might have already told me, but you've told me 10 peak powers on one side, 10 peak powers on the other, and just after that you start saying person 1 and person 2 are fighting.
Oh God!
I don't know who's fighting.
Yeah.
And then they're saying one person's at a disadvantage. I'm are we winning or are we losing? I don't know. I don't know which one I'm rooting for.
Yeah, that definitely got a lot better.
Yeah, it got way better after the first 100.
Yeah.
Oof.
But it was tough keeping track.
I actually just gave up. I just started reading and I was just rooting for whoever I thought was cooler. And then at the end of the fight, they would tell you oh, this was a big blow to. He's part of the Tang Yu. How do you say it?
Oh, you're talking about
the institution. What's the institution?
Oh, I call it Tong Yu. I think Tong Yu.
Yeah, that's what I say. I say Tang Yu.
Tong Yu Institution. That's the institution he's part of.
Yeah. So honestly, yeah, Tang Yu Institution. So if they would tell you at the end if it was beneficial or harmful to them, but before that, I was just rooting for whoever I thought was cooler. I just gave up, man, because I really tried for the first 65 chapters. And then I just couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, they got better with the names after.
They got way
the people
better.
that mattered were the people you heard about.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't hear about anyone random.
But I think the fighting was really cool. Let's see, what were some good things about it that you really liked?
So, I liked when they started going to the battlefield.
Yeah.
And right off rip, we had the classic. Things are gonna go well as soon as we enter here.
Mm-hmm.
They got ambushed, and I was like, "Oh, when are they gonna do this?" And they just told them, "Escape." And I was like, "What?" They just told them to leave.
Yeah, just run like what is it? Headless chickens. Just run. That's it. That was funny. I enjoyed that whole little
I
thing.
was dying.
Yeah.
And then they just chased him that whole time, but I liked how he used his wits to kind of get out of it, especially when they all his other the people he was with got captured and they went to go save him.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, I was okay, there we go. It was getting better. That's why honestly, before they entered the battlefield, it felt really bland, and then it was after the battlefield.
Yeah, I get that.
Better.
Yeah.
Let's just say what chapter did they enter the battlefield? 15.
It's really early.
Yeah.
It's 15, guys.
Guys, from once they enter the battlefield,
they don't stop.
They don't till the end of the book.
It's very fast paced. I'd say in between arcs. So we can see the first book. We can call it one big arc. There's probably maybe 4 arcs, maybe 5. I'm not sure exactly the top of my head. I think there's 4 arcs in that one book.
Oh, mini arcs.
Yeah, mini arcs, and they don't have a chapter in between.
No.
It's you're in one arc, you finish mid chapter, you're in another arc.
So it's you can see the ambush arc. That's to me was a mini arc because they were on their way to like their base
Yeah,
that the Tangyo institution has in the battlefield.
Yep.
And so the ambush arc was like a whole arc to like got back.
Yep.
And then there was like a mini. It was like a mini war arc.
Yeah.
Or actually, it was more like a siege arc.
Yeah, it was a siege arc. Yeah.
And then there was
the Beast Tide arc.
Beast Tide arc, and then the Coral arc.
Yeah, Coral arc. Yeah.
But the ambush arc, the siege and Beast Tide was really long.
It was like 100 chapters.
Yeah, Coral arc was the shortest one. I feel like.
I think it was the longest one.
Was it? And that one felt actually maybe it felt the fastest because a lot was happening.
Yeah. So the Coral arc, I feel like that all happened in like 2 weeks, but like it was like very continuous. Like,
yeah.
And it was kind of confusing, but I really enjoyed the Coral arc. That's when I started getting into the book more. Before that, I was like really like I was about to call it quits. Like honestly, but then I hit the Coral arc.
That's because the siege arc. What was the siege arc?
Yeah, it's the siege arc. That's the one I'm talking about.
That siege arc. At the beginning, the tension was really great, but then they dragged it out.
They dragged it incredibly
because
long.
I was just like, bro, when is this siege just gonna? When was it gonna start? And then I was like, oh, it started. And then I was like, when is it gonna end?
Yeah.
Because they were playing around. I was like, yo, you guys are playing around here.
And I think that was my issue with the siege arc. Was that the author was describing like so much of the fights between the peak experts that don't involve the main character, and it's like those are always like I think they're good, but I don't think they should have such a heavy emphasis when the main character is like not involved at all, and we also don't have any attachment to the peak power people.
The peak power people,
they're just like person A and person B fighting. Yeah. I don't have any attachment to who wins, and I don't even know how it's gonna affect the story because you haven't set it up well enough. So it's like you can't put so much emphasis onto these guys that nobody cares about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They had the cool element of like the looming, because there's the person who runs Tangyo Institution. His name's kind of hard to pronounce.
Well, we don't know him in this first book. We don't find out about that man.
Who we know is? Oh, actually, we don't even know. Yeah, we don't know his.
We know his name, Patriarch
Ko.
But we don't know who he is, where he is.
Well, I know, but I'm saying like that was like the big plot point because like he's so mysterious.
Oh yeah, he was very mysterious.
Honestly, he's pretty cool.
He is really cool. I like him a lot.
Yeah, I thought he was done really well in my opinion.
Amazing.
That's why I was just like, okay, author's cooking. He's cooking.
He's like my as a supporting character. He's my favorite.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is for the peak powers. That's what the author kind of needs to do for them, like what they did for
him.
Patriarch Ko.
Yeah.
Just uplift them a little bit more, so that way whatever happens. It was cooler.
Yeah.
But you fix that.
It's
slowly got over.
He slowly got better.
Yeah. But the siege arc for the most part, there definitely was some twists and turns in there that still made it cool. It was just a little dragged out.
Honestly, guys, I think the first 100, and this is a lot to say, but the first 120 chapters, it's a struggle. For sure, the first 90, 100%. First 90,
it's a slow burn.
There's some good parts like the ambush. The ambush arc is in there, and then after that you get the Beast Tide arc, which is kind of cool. But it's just that siege arc and the beginning of the book. In my opinion, hot garbage. But besides that, he did a lot good, and I think those arcs could have been good if he did it a different way.
Yeah. I think he could have been better if the author had his complete vision.
Yeah.
Because you can tell right now he has more of a vision.
For sure, 100%.
But at the beginning, it was all over the place.
Yeah.
Was he supposed to be? Because you didn't know what was supposed to be important. Was him transmigration important? Was he gonna be a villain? Was he gonna be a good guy? Because they mentioned a couple of people who were rivals to him, and he was like, "Oh, he improves so fast."
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, we gotta keep an eye," and then they never came up again, and he was like, "Okay," because I was keeping tabs, and then those tabs I never touched those tabs again,
And one thing too is that they that was kind of confusing was how like his power level was increasing so fast, but like I didn't know if that meant he was just gonna like leave. I didn't know if he wanted to be a part of his institution or not.
Oh, okay.
Like the Tongan institution, I didn't know if he like really cared about them or not, and I think I honestly think he really didn't, and he seemed to start to care more about them as like time progressed.
Yeah.
So like at the beginning, it was really like hit or miss. Like he could have gone somewhere else and not cared.
Yeah, there was also a big thing because the 4 great clans they hold up the Tongan institution.
Yep.
But the Shang clan was propped up forcibly by the patriarch.
Yep.
So there's a lot of talks of like, oh, is the Shang clan really all that, or like how close are they, or how like their loyalty and stuff. And like in the Shang clan, they're like, well, do we want to be like, tied to the ship, like ride or die, or do we want to like leave a backway exit? It's getting a little dicey.
Yeah.
But one thing that did throw me off was everyone's wealth.
Yeah.
People were poor.
Very poor.
I was like, because what is it? Oh, yeah, they do like low, like middle and high grade.
Yeah. For what, like embroidered cases?
For like weapons.
Oh yeah, weapons, yeah.
And like, they had their... That was so... That made me laugh so hard.
Yeah.
Because apparently, so Shang-Jia he had like 2 like low-grade weapons. Like daggers.
Yeah, and a mid-grade weapon.
Yeah. And the Shang family, like in total, they had 5
or 7.
5 low-grade and like 1 mid-grade. Yeah. And he had 3 of them. He had the only mid-grade on him and 2 low. I was like, wait, you let him just take the only mid-grade?
Like half of it well. It was crazy. I didn't think they were that poor. It kind of...
But it made sense when he told me, like, oh yeah, we're forced to be propped up. Like, what we gotta,
It kind of didn't make sense later on when they started talking about, like, I think later on in the book when you start hearing about the powers, you're like, this doesn't make a lot of sense now that you think about it.
Why they were so...
Like how none of them have greater weapons, or maybe it's just because we don't see many people's perspective besides Shang.
Actually...
Shang-Jia.
Yeah.
Shang-Jia.
I mean, for me it was just like, okay, they just spoiled him, obviously, and then it was, like, because when you hear about everyone else, it wasn't just them. Everyone else was poor too.
Oh yeah, everyone.
And I was like, wait, what? Everyone is so poor?
Everybody's poor.
And I was like, oh, so the cultivation level's really like, people it's just really too new.
They're broke. And then like, the thing is, it's not, a lot of the reason they're like, they don't have the weapons is they don't know how to make the weapons.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people who can create those level of weapons.
Because like weapons like they correspond to like your kind of like your strength.
Yes.
So like if you're not that strong, you can't really make a good weapon.
And also in
or if you don't have a high cultivation level.
And in this book, there's really not body cultivation isn't really a thing.
No.
So it's all like inner cultivation. So if like there's not like somebody's gonna be out there like swinging fists. Yeah. Like that's just not a thing. So everybody's using a weapon. So if you don't have a good weapon, you're like just not up to par.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's like so bad that people were willing to use weapons that weren't suited to them just because they had a good grade.
Yeah.
It's like if I was a swordsman. But like someone handed me like nunchucks because like it's a mid grade versus a low grade.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
They would use them.
They're that down bad. It's like, yes, they are down bad. I was like, that is crazy.
It really is.
But I love it.
It was funny. It was pretty bad the first 2, 3, 4 chapters.
No, the siege arc was terrible. She was like, yeah, I'm taking the mid grade fan, even though. I can't use it properly just because it's a mid-grade fan.
Yeah, they gave like a boar-like man a fan to play with. And I'm like, oh my god.
It's gonna break the fan.
Yeah. Oh, it was so bad. Yeah. It was like giving Sakura a sledgehammer. Or, sorry, that's a bad example because she actually should use a sledgehammer at the end of the book. But like, Ino from Naruto.
Giving her a sledgehammer.
Giving her a sledgehammer, like, at the beginning of Naruto, the regular Naruto, not even Naruto Shippuden. And being like, she's gonna go crazy with that. It's like, no, get her a fan. Like, you know what I'm saying? Get her, like, some Genjutsu stuff. I don't know. Like, it didn't make sense. But it was funny.
It was funny.
Yeah.
I was definitely laughing. I was like, wow, people, they're down bad here. Yeah. Like, but it just made that tense situation all the more better when they're about to go under siege. Because I was just like, everyone is just really feeling it.
One other thing I had to say, tell me if you didn't find this confusing or not. And guys, you'll probably be confused by this. So their cultivation realms go like first through, we don't know how many orders. So they call like the first order the martial realm, second order martial extremity realm, right? And it keeps going. Every realm up is like, they go up one number. Mm-hmm. When their realms go, they don't go early, mid, like late. They go minor completion, I believe.
Oh, yes. They go I hate
minor completion, large completion, grand completion. And there was so many times they were going between large and grand, and I could not figure out which one was better.
Well, that confused me to right now. Where I'm in the novel. Because they confused me when they were talking about
large versus grand.
Yes.
That's the biggest problem.
And I was like, for one of the cultivation realms, and I was like, oh, he reached this level. But it was like, no, but there's grand completion. I was like, oh my god, I forgot about it.
It's a horrible naming system.
I don't like it. It feels too tedious.
Yeah.
So those kind of, because large grand completion, you associate those with techniques.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's what I've always heard it. I don't think it makes sense for cultivation level.
Yeah, I agree 100%, bro. It was really difficult. And it's funny, guys, if you read this on Wish of World, the translator for the first 100 chapters literally calls it out every chapter. He's like, the cultivation levels are really ass. He really says that. For the first 100 chapters, he's like, they're really bad, sorry. You'll figure them out sooner or later.
Yeah.
Because they don't really explain them either. You're kind of guessing. And large versus grand, some people might intuitively think grand is better. But for me, I really couldn't
yeah,
see the
me
difference
either.
that much.
I couldn't either. I was like, oh, large grand. I thought that.
I thought it was the same thing for a while, bro. I thought we were just changing the name.
Yeah, exactly. I was just using it interchangeably.
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
Yeah,
it does matter.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember what the other two were, because it's not minor, large, grand, is it?
I think it really is.
I thought there was something in between minor and large.
No, it's just you start off and you're in the minor completion. And I think I might be getting that name wrong, but it's minor something.
No, it is minor. It is minor completion.
Alright, there's minor completion, large completion, grand completion. And at grand completion, you're at the peak of the stage.
That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
For some reason, I always thought there was some fourth one. Because minor to large doesn't make any sense.
It makes sense. Those are literally, I think, the names of Li Luo from Absolute Residence Ducards.
Except they don't have large completion.
Yeah, they have grand perfection, I think.
Yeah.
And then they have minor perfection or minor.
No, I think they have minor completion.
Yeah.
And then it goes from completion to perfection.
Yeah.
Because they're just oh, you completed the technique, and then now you gotta perfect it.
Yeah.
Or master the technique, now you gotta perfect master or something.
Yeah, something like that.
But
it made more sense for a technique.
Yeah.
You were spot on with that. That's how.
Yeah, because most I feel like most novels always have some sort of completion, mastery level, whereas it's always just made sense for cultivation levels to be low, mid, peak, or low, mid, advanced, peak.
Yeah.
That, those four makes. That's why I kept thinking there was a fourth one, because usually that's what it is.
Yeah, it's usually always a peak, but the peak is equal to grand.
Yeah, and I was no, that's not the. In English, it's not the same thing. Grand and peak is not the same.
Yeah. But I will say that one really got me for a while.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy his family a lot. I like how his family situation is.
I actually like how involved they are in the novel.
I really thought the first 100 chapters kind of gives the vibe that our main character is not going to care about his institution or his family very much at all.
It did.
And then I did a 180.
Yeah, now it's just I'm all family, I'm all institution.
Yeah, and I think you don't really see that until after the first book, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
So I think the first book you guys might finish seeing he's honestly, I was talking to Biggest Gamer and I was like, is he gonna go? Is this like the only arc we're getting at this institution and with his family? And then he's gonna go off to like a bigger power to cultivate and get stronger. Because that's how it was seeming to me. Because he had like no ties, and then like you kind of see the ties like slowly get built.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe it kind of makes sense because like he just transmigrated to this world, so it kind of makes sense. But like, I don't know. It was kind of just weird how it happened.
I got that vibe too at the beginning. Yeah. And then, but the author did plant the seeds in there.
He did plant them.
He was like slowly getting them on this. It did feel. It was funny because I thought this in my head. I was like, yeah, it feels like. Kind of like propaganda on this guy a little bit at the beginning, but then it felt more genuine when they were like actually fighting. They're actually putting resources in it, and then everyone was kind of like working together.
Well, I think it's because he might have been dumb before, or just actually an asshole.
Yeah, that might have been.
So maybe they were like being fake nice to him because like he's the young master.
Yeah.
So who knows?
But it definitely got a lot better. Also,
we don't meet his parents first 200 chapters.
Well, yeah, because they said at the beginning like his parents are dead.
What?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
They said that in the first 200 chapters.
Really?
They imply it.
I've been waiting to meet them.
What?
Are you serious?
In the first 200 chapters, they imply that.
I thought they implied the mother is dead, but that the dad is somewhere out there low key.
No.
I feel like the dad is out there low key.
No, he's not. They imply that is the implication that he is a goner. They never talked about what exactly happened, but they all say like this event happened that pissed like
everybody off.
Yeah, but they never talk about it. But the implication is his parents died in that event.
I didn't get that vibe.
What?
No.
That is the vibe I got from that.
I got the mom is dead 100%. Like, she is dead.
No, the dad is a
the dad, though, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I can't spoil it because it's past chapter 200, but I've seen some theories and I kind of agree with them.
What?
You Shane?
No.
Like, I think he's a friend of a friend, you know? Yeah, well, he's alive. The dad is alive.
The dad is dead 100%.
No, I'm not putting my money on that. Don't do it, guys.
They never talk about it again after.
They mentioned his name like once at chapter like 500. The dad.
Yeah, well, yeah, but they never mentioned the event. Like,
yeah, they still haven't.
No,
that's crazy.
And honestly, if his dad was alive, I'd be shocked.
I think he's alive. Like,
it would take. No, it wouldn't make sense.
I don't know.
It doesn't make sense because if his dad was alive, they would have told him by now.
But why do they never talk to him about his parents?
That is one thing that has been irksome about this novel.
Bro, like, these parents are dead and he's just so cool with it. Like, I understand those weren't his actual parents because he transmigrated. So it's not his actual parents. So he doesn't actually like have a bond with them. But like, they're just dead, and that's never a point. Like, how are your parents just dead and it's like not even like talked about? And like, it's different when like it's the other family members talking about like they shouldn't talk about the situation. But he never says anything. Like, it's not like he's like
he doesn't.
He's just like, you know, whatever. Parents are parents, whatever. Like, not a care in the world. That irked me because it's still to this day he hasn't really like. He's like way strong. He's like almost at the peak of the institution where I'm at. And he still hasn't really cared about finding them. Or at least even knowing the information of what could have happened to them.
Yeah. Honestly, I think it's either a huge plot hole or a huge plot twist. I'm leaning more towards the former.
Latter.
Plot hole.
Plot twist.
He's dead.
He's alive.
The author just doesn't want to talk about it for some reason. Because he hasn't thought of a good enough story of what happened.
But yeah, honestly, guys, I really did not like this novel the first 100 chapters. Like, I kept reading it in the hopes for something because this is what happened, guys. If you read the reviews on this novel, they shit on it. All right,
they do.
They wrecked this novel.
Well, some of them, it's like
Nah, they wreck it, bro.
It's a good 60-40.
I'm saying 70-30. They wrecked this thing. And honestly, if it wasn't for... I only started reading this because Biggest Gamer told me to start
reading it. At the beginning, they do wreck... They wreck it a lot at the beginning. They like it a lot later.
Yeah.
That's why the percentage is like back and forth.
Yeah. Biggest Gamer recommended this to me. If it wasn't for that, I would have gave up in that war, in that siege arc. 100%, bro. I was reading that. I fall asleep multiple times through that. Like, when I try to get through an arc, if I go to sleep multiple times reading it, and not because I read late at night, sometimes I'm at work and I read it and I go to sleep. Like, it takes me out. Like, that's how I know I don't like it. But I keep reading because I have to get through it. I know it was bad, but there was a light at the end of the tunnel, guys. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's worth reaching. Because while I wouldn't give this novel, like, even all the way out to where I'm at around chapter 650. I think Biggest Gamer is fully caught up around 860 or something. Mind you, I started first, but he bodied me like always. I wouldn't give it like an 8.5 or anything like that. I think it's a solid 7.
Yeah.
But it's a really solid 7.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it has a lot of potential to be more, but I'm kind of okay with it being a 7 because it's just good enough that I enjoy reading it. Yeah. You know, there's nothing wrong with a solid 7. Like it'll keep me coming back all the time.
Yeah, it'll keep me entertained unless they do something stupid.
Yeah.
But so far they haven't done anything.
No ass pulls. Like that's one thing I'll give it. There's no ass pulls. I haven't seen an ass pull. That
is true. Everything has been like cultivated step by step. Like everything feels earned.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give him no. I haven't seen no plot armor. I will say, while it is earned, sometimes things are given to him a little too conveniently.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Like it's like, oh, I'm about to break through. I find all the things randomly. Like earlier levels, later levels, like it's like he knows a lot of people, so they help him out.
Yeah,
that's like more understandable.
Yeah, it's more understandable. It's like, oh, okay, I'm an influential person.
Yeah, but at the beginning, like for him to go to the 3rd to the 4th order, that was just like the author just set it up and he was like, "Here's a plate, bro." That was crazy. You gotta admit, that was crazy. But like other than that, like honestly, the plot, I don't really see plot armor or anything like that, and I really enjoy that. That's why I say like. It's not amazing, but it has no bad, like, really negative things that make me, like, get irked while I'm reading. Yeah. I just don't think the book reaches its full potential. But that's okay. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed it. How about you?
I'd say, yeah. I'd say, like I said earlier, junk food novel. Mm-hmm. It's perfect to always just read it. It's interesting. I just want to see where the story pans out. Yep. I think especially where it's at now, the story's definitely evolved a lot more. Mm-hmm. Although I can't really see where it's going.
Really?
Well, yeah. I mean, I have an idea.
Okay.
But I'm not too... It's more like a... What's the word? A general idea. Actually, general idea is perfect. I have a general idea of where it's like going. A focus point. Yeah, there's not... I feel like there's too many routes the author can go right now. Like when you
He's at a crossroads right now, kind of? Of like where the story can go?
Yeah. Okay. I feel like that makes a... Yeah, that's perfect actually. I feel like he can expand it in different directions. I just don't know how he's gonna go about it.
One thing I really like that like I think a lot of I don't know if it's the author who does this or if it's Wuxia World that does this, so I don't know who to give credit to. But most of the time I think the names of the books are pretty bad. Like, I don't think they relate. I just don't see the connection a lot of the times.
I think it's the author.
Okay, well, this author does a really good job with the naming of his volumes. Like, volumes 1 through, I think they're at 8 or 9 right now.
They're at 7. 8's the next one.
Okay. So, like, every book is very well named. You know, even if it's, like, maybe a little too well named, that, like, you just, like, know what the next step is gonna be. It's kind of like a little plot reveal almost. But like, you know, if it says battle between the two worlds, it's the battle between the two worlds for all the volume, you know. And as soon as you're done with the battle between the two worlds, it's a next volume. Like you're not staying. Like it doesn't keep going or nothing. So I'll give him that. I like it a lot. Like there's one thing I've heard that if like in business, I guess, like if you want, you should always sell people what you're telling them you're gonna sell. Like if you're selling them something basic, tell them it's something basic. You know, like if you're promising one thing, deliver that. It doesn't matter if you deliver all this other stuff, deliver that. And like I get that, man. He delivered. He delivered on what he says he's gonna do.
He definitely, yeah. He did.
That's what I got for Split in the Heavens. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'm still going. Still got 200 chapters. I'm happy I haven't caught up because those are depressing days.
Those are depressing days. But you know what? I just realized there was another novel I did say we could read for recommendation. Actually,
Which one?
Oh,
you did say one. I forgot what it was.
I forgot about two, and I found another one. The new one I just found. I think it's another new one. It's called Stargate.
Stargate.
Yeah, and then what was the other one?
Right here.
Immortal something.
Immortal of the Ages.
Yes, that was the other one.
And you also have Lord Zhu Ying, Desolate Era author.
Yes, that was the one I read, but I told you should read.
Oh, okay.
I was like, nothing going on.
Okay.
Give me a read and let me see what you know.
Okay.
I feel like that was a solid 8.
Immortal of the Ages or Lord Zhu Ying?
Zhu Ying. I haven't read Immortal of the Ages.
Okay.
That was the recommended.
Okay. How long is Lord Zhu Ying? You know?
13:30.
Oh, so like 13 minutes. That's not bad.
Yeah.
It's an afternoon. Probably take me a month. Something like that.
It's pretty good.
Guys, we're getting dry over here.
We are.
Like, absolute
The biggest problem is that we've read too many novels to their completion.
Yeah.
And we haven't talked about some of them. And I think it's time to revisit that part of the Light Novel Feeds podcast.
Because right now, like, Beyond the Timescape, 24. Yeah. Damn Reincarnation, 32. Keyboard Immortal, 14. Absolute 14? Resonance, 45. Yeah, Keyboard we did 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. It just feels like... yeah, we just went over that, too.
Yeah, so it's like all of these don't...
Absolute Resonance only at 45? That's not enough.
It really isn't, so it's like...
That needs to at least be 60.
I like 70, to be honest. But I agree, at least 60.
60 when we say it, because then it'll get like a few more.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Damn Reincarnation is perfect at 50. Beyond Timescape is perfect at 30. We're doing it, right?
We said 40.
Thought we did 510 to 540.
Oh, yeah, 30.
Yeah. Even though we go by the number of chapters, so it's 510 to 540, 540 to 570, even though he does, in this book there's a lot of 0.5s.
Yeah.
So it won't actually be 30 chapters. Like 510 to 540, I'm pretty sure it was 46 chapters.
Yeah.
Even though it only numbered 30. So like, it was still way more than, like, I think that video was still like an hour and a half.
It was.
We're trying to cut Beyond the Timescape.
Beyond the Timescape, like, hour and a half plus. Like, the first one we did was like 2, or no, the last one.
Yeah.
When it was like from 400 to 460.
Oh, that took forever.
That was 2 hours.
And we didn't even do it justice.
No.
Like, we're trying to do it just so we're shortening it. At this point, we have to go arc by arc.
Yeah.
And guys, be prepared, because I'm bringing out the notebook. You're seeing it. All right? I'm bringing the notebook whenever we go Beyond the Timescape again. It's coming out.
Yeah. But, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think we'll read 9 Star.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do that other recommendation.
Okay.
And then we'll take a look at novels that we've read to completion.
Okay.
Because we had a list before, but we only did...
like 3 of them, I think. Or 2 of them.
Yeah, we did Desolate Era.
And Renegade Immortal. And
because you did that because I was like, yeah.
And then did we do the Bye Guy? The one I told you about that is hilarious.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about? It's by Urgen.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. Oh,
by
it's with alchemy. There's a cauldron on the picture. I can't remember the name. I'm just gonna have to look at it.
Wait a minute. Isn't that Will Eternal?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Will Eternal. I love that guy.
Oh, so we did not do Will Eternal.
Yeah, that one we talk about. Will Eternal was like goated. Everybody loves a Will Eternal.
Yeah, that was his best novel. Till now.
Yeah, okay. I was about to say, I was like, hold up. Yeah, Will Eternal was really, really good. I'm actually not seeing it on Wish anymore. What happened? Oh no, there it is. It just changed the cover art for it. Oh, actually, side note, do you know what they're doing for Will Eternal?
It's on Amazon, right?
Yeah, they just released an audiobook for it.
Oh, an audiobook.
An audiobook of all 9 volumes.
That's crazy.
I almost want to buy it.
That is tempting.
I am tempted. Just to like, I don't know. It looks cool. I wouldn't mind having it in the background while driving and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it would get me through a lot of days. Because I drive a lot. I wouldn't mind at all.
Yo, that would.
Yeah, and he's funny, man.
He is funny. That was so funny.
That was about the one. Cultivation novels usually aren't that funny. This guy's hilarious.
You can see some of that humor in The Captain.
Yeah. Like Down the Timescape?
Yeah.
There's not much humor in Split in the Heavens.
No.
I haven't laughed once.
No.
But
It's only a couple. It's only a couple times.
Yeah.
Like, what was it?
I think the only time I maybe let out a chuckle was his aunt, Shane Pei.
That whole situation. Yeah.
I think I chuckled a little bit. But yeah, honestly, guys, good book, solid 7. Won't disappoint you at all. Besides the first 100, that's your warning. All right. It's a slog fest. Don't try to remember all the names. Like, try a little bit, because some of them do last through the book, but like, don't try too hard. The ones that are important, you'll know are important.
You'll know later on.
Yeah. That has been episode 57 of Let Out Face Podcast. This has been Animar.
Big scammer.
Peace.